Hello everyone, my name is Elton and this is my first video about the Chestnut C Espresso Pro from Timemore. My intention here today is how to write assembly the grinder itself, because when I was first trying to reassemble this little guy here, I was not getting closer to the 0 position. As you can see here, we have different measures, and I wasn't near here 0. I was almost like here 5 or 6. And then I figured a procedure to make this kind of reassembly easier for all of us. Okay, the only thing that we were going to need is a tablespoon. This one I'm using as wood because I don't want to mess with my nearly purchased first here grinder. And there is some quick tips that I want to share with all of you in the first place, because I do not see any kind of short walkthrough here in order to explain. And then we have two different discs in this particular model, different from the C3 Pro. For the Espresso ESP, we don't have two, we have only one. And these two, they have one specific difference that I'm going to show you with this little zoom here. As you can see, we have one that we have a flat surface on top of it, and the lower part is with a little edge around the inner part of the circle of the cylinder of this little ring here. And the second one, we have two edges, which is very important in order for you to right assemble it. This part will be next to the spring itself, and this little one will be near the lever. Okay, so let me start the procedure here. First of all, you take the main body of the grinder with the lower part to the lowest part, and then you take this portion here. This one you use to assemble here with this little part here that we have the different teeth here. And then you will take the little ring without these little two edges. Let me show you again here. In this version, we have an edge that will be faced downwards, and this little part will be faced upwards. Okay, because it's no necessary since we already have one kind of edge here. So I'm going to insert this one here, and as you can see, inside the body of the grinder itself, we have one disc that we have several discs here. This little disc, this little edge will fit precisely inside this part of the grinder. Okay, and then you take the lever, the lever, and then you try to make a fit like this. And then you start the second part, which is really tricky. Here we have the second ring, in which we have two edges, one on top and the other one below. And then you can put directly in the pillow. And then you come with the spring. Okay. And here is the part that we needed to put here on the surface of the table. And then we have the option to put our grinder itself. You make sure that this little hole here is placed downwards in the opposite direction of the lever itself. As you can see here, we have a perfect circle, but the second part that is the tricky part in order to reassemble it. As you can see here, we have a square shape. We have a semi-cylindrical with a square shape on here and here. And as you can see, we have this little button that will fit precisely in this part, in this little hole. And that's why we need the spoon in order to take everything. You put on it, and then you make sure to long press everything together until you can start to see the other part of the pillow here. Okay, let me just make a zoom. As you can see here, go back to the previous version. And then you long press with the tablespoon to help everything in place. And that's when you come, and then you make sure, sorry, there is something I did wrong here. You make sure that you rotate everything here to this part, and the 0 will be faced downward. No, I was right, but I didn't explain correctly for you guys. As you can see, 0 will be in the lowest part and not upward. This is counterintuitive, okay? And then you long press and make sure that everything fits together, holding in place with this tablespoon, which can be everything that you have. And then you start to make contact with the help of your spoon. And then you turn clockwise in order to make this little adjustment to its place. Once you feel it, you're going to hear a little bend. That is precisely the point that you started to rotate it. Let me just make a quick rotation here. And as you can see, we are as much as close as possible. Let me take the little zoom here that I use to make the service of my watches. We are nearly as close as possible to the zero position, as you can see here. And we go a little bit further, and then you click, and you are in the 0 position again. Okay, so that is the tricky part. You make in a way that you long press everything together. The 0 must be downwards, and then you start to make the rotation. Do not make the rotation without long press everything in place together. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. In case you find it useful, share with your friends. Until next time, bye bye. Thank you very much.